Man, Congruence, you there, dog? Yo, invite.
I am here.
Awesome, dog.
After all the listeners are gonna know all about that.
Dude, mad crazy, bro.
This Mercury retrograde is no joke. So my mom's been telling me, like I said, my mom's been telling me that it's messing up technology. It messes with technology, and Chevy and I have been having technology issues. I've had Wi-Fi issues. I had to go to Starbucks to send him some files for a mix, and I missed like an hour of work because of it because I work from home.
Oh
and
shit.
and now we've had to go from Instagram Live to another app to this app. So
Seriously, what
we're here.
the hell?
Shout out Podbean.
Dead ass, dog. You're like being it. Shit, bro. So, you're into like the planets and stuff like that, like zodiac signs and
uh,
horoscope.
yeah, to an extent. I mean, there. I definitely believe in like a bigger connection. This is a he's up in here. I believe in a bigger connection just of everything, to be honest. Chevy and I kind of have the same. I don't want to speak for him, but we have this very. He calls it esoteric. I call it spiritual. We have this way of thinking where it's like, I feel like everything's connected, like nature and everything's kind of just like an expression of like one whole, and everything like that causes hatred and stuff is like separation and seeing things as separate. It's a pretty common new age concept, but it's just kind of always how I feel, and it's influenced by like my my psychedelic use, and just reading up on it and stuff. Chevy, you need to call in, or Baker, can you hit him with the invite?
Yeah, I just sent him an invite right now.
All right, so okay, he's
Um,
live.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm sorry, bros, for the inconveniences. Like I
You
said,
good? You good? We good
dude,
with
you're
you.
here though.
We
yeah,
made it. We made it. We made it.
we
I
out
was
here, we survived.
Yeah. So I was just we were just talking about like the planets and stuff, astrology. I was just saying
Yeah,
like like when it comes to actual like zodiac signs and stuff. So recently I went to like I went to someone's house, and these two girls were really into it. Probably the most into it I've ever seen anyone. And like a while back, I knew people who were really into it, and like we talked about it a lot, and we found a lot to be true.
yeah,
Just lately we have a these girls were talking about it, and I started to get a little bit more interested in it. But then there was some app we found that was like it's good for knowing what your signs are, like specific ones, not just like sun and moon. Like there's a bunch of stuff
yeah,
apparently.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Hmm.
um it's good for that, but then it'll tell you some weird stuff. Like it'll try to tell you what's going on between you and like another person. It'll be like there's
Bro,
tension and all
it
this
is
stuff, and it
like,
always makes it like romantic. And it's like, wait, but like, how do you even know that that's a romantic? It's saying that about two different girls, so it's saying what? Like I got a romantic connection with two of them. I mean, a
Yeah.
rapper, but like, come on,
it does mean everything is on purpose, bro. None
Mm,
is
yeah,
coincidental.
no
no.
coincidence.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, it's true in my opinion though. It's nice to hear like with people that resonate on that factor, you know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
bro. I'm tapped in all the way, dude.
Yeah,
We've
I
been
figured, bro. This shit is amazing.
we've been talking a lot about that, just in terms of how everything's come together. So, all right, so since we had all these technical issues, there's some stuff we touched on Instagram Live that we didn't touch on
Yeah.
here. So just so everyone knows, I'm
Yeah, we
Congruence.
can just like the host
I'm co-
Baker can just fucking introduce the question and whatever. We can just pick it up from there, bro. It was a good convo.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm Congruence. I'm from Worcester, Mass. I make melodic hip hop. I've been making music for since like on and off since 2011. It got real serious around 2018, and I've released 3 albums now, and got a lot more on the way. So that's what I got. Chevy, take
Yeah,
it away. Take it away.
yeah. It's not. It's I make like music for a while with only piano, just be playing, and just making like serious music for like 4 or 5 years now. I started off like Barfi did, like with the EDM shit and beats. And then started recording. So that's like 2 years or something.
Hmm.
3 years. Yeah.
Now, young Chevy, brother in the mix, congruence. I want to know, let the viewers know the origin story on those names.
On the names. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So well, Chevy's story is longer than mine. I'll get mine out of the way real
No,
quick.
it's actually shorter, bro.
No,
Young
cause
Chevy,
you
honestly.
nah, cause he's got like three. He had three names, bro. So like for
Yeah,
me,
that's true.
it was like starting out probably in college. I think I started experimenting with psychedelics, mostly shrooms, and I found a lot of inspiration, especially on solo trips, which you have to go into with
Yeah.
experience, and you have to be very serious. You have to treat it very seriously, in my opinion, but they can be ultimate tools for healing if you use it with intention and you use it correctly and safely, of course. But
Yeah.
for me, I had this one trip by myself. I was in my room and I was just sleep deprived, and I kind of was like, it was really trippy. Like normally, I just like think and I'm listening to music, chilling, whatever. Like this one, there was like alien voices in my head, and it
Oh,
was like it makes me sound crazy, but what really happened was like
No, bro.
what I mean, but like it was like voices were like ping ponging back and forth in my head, and like it was nonsense. But then out of that nonsense, I started to like this word. It was really like one of the
It's what
craziest things.
psychedelics do, honestly, Con.
But it was the
mm.
crazy. I've never had an experience like this since. Like it started like swirling this word around in my head, and eventually it just hit me with congruence, and like I was like, I was at the time I was thinking about music and like what it would be like to be in front of like a large group of people and make a really positive impact. And like I started to see
Yeah.
myself as like this like figure that could make a huge impact on people, and I never
Mm.
knew that it would come to this. But like that's when I realized I'm like, congruence is going to be my stage name, so
Oh,
that's my
so-
story on it. Yeah, and like that's about it. Like I went with it, and I knew from that very second that I wasn't gonna change it. I use little nicknames and stuff, Congrito, some fucking
Hmm.
other shit, kid.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, concrete,
C,
dude.
everyone, a lot of people call me C. Like we're calling me C. A lot of people from the UK and shit. But yeah, like I play around with it, kid congruence. I say it a lot. Some people like sometimes I pronounce it congruence versus congruence. It's like there's so much that can be done with it, and it means
Mm.
like balance and harmony. That's like the definition. So for
Yeah.
me, I've
Uh,
a big theme of my trips has been about balance and like harmony with oneself and with the universe. So it fits me
wow.
perfectly. Yeah.
And you said that was during a shroom trip?
Yeah, so shroom trip mixed with some sort of sleep deprivation, because like
It's
I
the
said,
magic happening right there.
I've tripped a good amount, and like it was a while ago. Like I'm a veteran with it now, but like back then, I've never had really a trip like that, and that's really when I was getting these huge ideals in my head. But also, just like one thing I'll throw in before Chevy talks about his name stuff is like I back then like it also gave me, I think maybe more acid, but I think it gave me like a false sense of what it took to make it in the industry. It was like, oh,
Ooh,
you write some good songs, and the universe is just gonna pave the way. And
damn.
I found out the hard way that it's not just about making good music. It's about making really good music, and it's
Yeah,
about
that's
pushing that music out, and the grind doesn't stop. Like all the cliches about grinding and working hard and a
Seriously.
little bit of luck, it's all
yeah.
true, bro.
All true. Great story, dog.
It
Appreciate
is,
you.
man. Yeah,
Chevy,
it is.
by you, bro.
Yeah, no, Young Chevy is just simple. It's just from Steph, you know. My name is Steph, and like Steph in English grammar is so corny. It doesn't fit. So I thought like something like chef, so chef. But then you think like the
Mm.
movie Chef, so I thought like nah, bro, that's a meme, you know. And then I was like, Chevy because like the muscle cars, I like them. The Dodges, Chevys, and
Uh-huh.
Cadillacs, they're amazing, So I thought like, young Chevy. But then like Congruence said that before, I had like a lot of names too, like Goofy Boy Chevy in the name, Ty. It was a time
Uh,
like the memes and shit.
uh,
Lemmy.
And Lemmy, yeah, true Lemmy. That was the EDM name though, honestly.
oh, word?
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't. I just back in the day, I also like did it really because I really loved it, like play with sounds and just drums and fucking experimenting with some songs. And you know what the thing is, like back in the day I was alone with it. Like there was nobody really that's supported or encouraged you to do it. And
Hmm.
nowadays that's different, man. It's so much fucking love. Like it's so precious, and that really drives me more. So young Chevy as the name stands more out than all the names, you know.
Hmm. Young Chevy and Congruence are smooth ass names, dog. I like those names.
Respect.
Appreciate, man.
Yeah, I'm just
So,
happy that the names are changing because you know how they did the littles for too long.
I
yeah,
mean, I'm with the littles. There's a lot of littles. I mean, lately there's a
the
little bit.
Dutch too, though.
No pun intended. There's a little bit less littles that I mess with, but like I don't know. There's like it's definitely overplayed, but there is a lot of good lils and a lot of good youngs out there. But like there's
If
a
I
lot
can
of
throw a
a
question
lot of
back,
different
right,
names.
Baker? Like, is Baker your surname or?
Baker is it came from me smoking all the damn time, to be
Ah,
honest.
the baking. I like that, brother. Nice.
Like dead ass dog. Like just
God
everyone
damn,
seen me smoking.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so it just stuck. Everyone just started calling me Baker, and because my real name is Estevan, and
Oh
Okay,
shit. Oh, that's close to mine. Damn.
yeah, crazy, huh?
that
Fuck.
is crazy.
Yeah, but people would have a hard time pronouncing it, so I'm like, yo, just just call me Baker. It's all good. So
Yeah.
it just stuck, and it's been for about 10 years now. I've been Baker.
Yeah. You're known in the scene for that name. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but now let me let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Go ahead and give us a daily routine. Both of you guys can go ahead and take turns on
Yeah.
what it's like in the life of Congruence in the life of young Chevy.
Well, I mean, it's always shifting, but like I said, earlier before our technical difficulties, so for the bulk of this year, I, I was just doing some work like independent work, DoorDash, Grubhub, and stuff like that to get
Oh
by.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so
Hmm.
for me, the routine was really like getting money when I needed to. But a lot of the time, I was lucky enough to be able to lock in with Chevy, and then you know I wanted to mention like Barf Keller, our producer. So, Barf, and
Always.
there's a whole history there with Chevy and him that he can go into. But like, I met Scrooge from all right. So we got the collective Sold Souls, so on Instagram, and we have the page now. All the S's are dollar signs and shit. So check it out.
Clean, by the way.
And yes, I love
Yeah.
it. And like, but it started off, Scrooge. Uh, I meet him, and actually, I take back what I said earlier that to you guys about not knowing anyone. I did know Sick Boy before
Mm.
Scrooge
Yeah.
through someone else, or
A lot
ironically,
of
but
people knew him before. Yeah.
yeah, he
Crazy.
knew like almost everyone. But Scrooge basically um, got me into this group that eventually turned into this collective. And Barf Keller, the producer, he not only is just a legend, and like he's 17, man, and he's making beats.
What?
The way he's making these
Yeah,
beats, man,
brother.
we can't even like, it's crazy. He's making beats and he doesn't have like even studio monitors or
Wow.
headphones, and he's making
Nothing like that, brother.
like some of the best beats I've personally worked with. And it's always been a dream of mine to work with a producer who's producing directly for something, so
Yeah.
he introduced me to Chevy. Long story short, but yeah, like the daily routine became Barf would
It
make a
started with
beat.
the album Go really like within each other, you know?
Well, yeah, if you're gonna come out and drop that, I mean, I guess we can talk about that right now. But it started with really one song that everyone's gonna hear soon, on July 2nd. So we have a
Yeah.
song coming out. I mean, it's exclusive. You heard it here first.
Ooh. Ooh.
Maybe, uh, yeah. So Never Change, Young Chevy,
Never changed.
Congruence, Johnny Coons from Arizona, and Barf Keller from Argentina. And
No cap.
so Barf
Exactly.
Barf hit me up in the group chat that Sturge added me to. Sturge is from Louisiana. He's an amazing person, really really great person to hold the group together and be calm, and
Yeah.
always make rational decisions. And he was able to link me to Barf. Barf asked me send some of my music. I sent my music videos that I had out. he sent me an open, and I was hesitant at the time because I'd kind of judged a book by its cover. I said Barf, that's kind of a weird name. He had a really weird profile picture, and I was like, I don't know. I got this idea that he was like this 40-year-old weird British guy. And
It's
like
true though. It's true. I had the same reaction the first time.
so I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna open that. It's kind of weird. And then I found out that this song that Scrooge was on, that still hasn't come out, but it's I think it's gonna come out. I'm not sure. Had a beat, and I remember someone saying this guy named Barf made the beat, and I was like, wait. So I confirmed that he was the one who made that beat, and my mind was blown. And instantly, I opened up that message, and I was like, oh, okay, let me listen to what we got. And he's like, yeah, it's this guy Young Chevy on the hook, and then this guy Johnny Coons is on the verse. And I'm like, okay, let me listen. And I just hear this great wavy beat, and then I hear this the smoothest vocals on this hook. It was Chevy, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is so smooth, it's catchy. I'm like, this is something I can work with. And I'm really picky with features and stuff because I hold myself to a high standard at this point. So this is the beginning of 2021, and like I at this point wasn't doing a lot of features, and I was in a point where I was just mostly releasing my own stuff, and I felt like I was really leveling up. So I got sent this open, and I heard it, and Johnny's verse too. Like he goes in on it, and like I was like motivated, and I sat there, and I heard the beat, and I caught this very specific melody and flow, and I'm like, all I need to do is just fill in the blanks, man. And I did it, and I wrote the verse, and I was happy with it. And then next thing you know, soon enough, Chevy's into it. He's mixing it, and like his mixing experience, that he can speak on that as well. Ended up leading to a routine that the daily routine for months was Barf sending a beat, us hopping on a group call on Instagram or Skype, and
Crazy times.
yeah, like working on the mixes. I would record something, I got a nice setup at home, Shure SM7B, like really love that mic, and that really changed a lot for me. I record at home, yeah, like not even in a treated room, and the mic is so good, and the mixing skills from Chevy is so good
It's
that
a
we
lot
just
what a lot of us
yeah.
are doing, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people that are in the Soul Souls, they all record like at home. Like nobody has a big like you got for Interstellar to a big studio, right? Congruence?
Yeah, so like that's the interesting thing about this, and is that so my first three albums, so Secrets was a debut as more of a mixtape. That was my like putting my foot in the water. I go to the studio Phoenix Down in Somerville, and it's just kind of crazy. My friend at the time introduced me to. He just linked me to it. 28 grams. This guy. That I worked with back in the day, and he told me about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. And I looked into it, and this dude John Scott, who runs the studio, he's got pictures of a little baby with Snoop Dogg, and I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do. And I had money, big money at the time from working and grinding and stuff, like, and I went and I booked a session, and I kind of had a lower budget for that album. I did the basics. I didn't do too much layering. I just kind of made songs that I thought were catchy. And that goes back to what I was saying about things being thinking that like things are going to happen overnight, and they didn't. And I was running ads and stuff, and I had one music video, and just like nothing happened. And but the point so like basically to answer the question, all three of my albums I did. My first two, Secrets and Patterns, I did with John Scott, who's worked with Lil Babies, worked with like people that are big, and
crazy.
he was really a genius, and we were really locked in, and like he could with some telepathic shit. And then a younger dude who worked there, Josh Schubeck, he uh I ended up meeting him a few times, and he had worked with the other artist 28 grams that introduced me, and he was a little bit more affordable of an option. And something about just talking to him, I ended up vibing with him, and he ended up being the one that
That's the
wrote
most
down.
important, honestly.
Yeah, like it's not. I'm not saying that I didn't vibe with John. I'm saying I wanted to give Josh a chance to shine, and I feel like with Fifth Dimension, my album that just dropped, that's what happened. So I went in there, and we made that album together, and he knew the exact feel I was going for, and he really captured it. So, but transitioning into doing stuff at home, I felt a little bit weird at first. I'm like, you know, you're in a studio, it's a treated room, everything's professional, and then you're going into your room, but it just shows the power of what a good
Mhm.
engineer like Chevy can do, because
Very
I
true.
recorded everything at home, and the next thing you know, like Chevy's making these radio ready mixes. So that was my daily routine for a while, and now it's kind of shifted to balancing work with just absolute insanity. You know, just you know coming off drugs and dealing with addiction, dealing with a breakup, but also moving past that, becoming stronger, and just really, 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 really leaning into music. So that's my really long answer.
That's a great answer. Before you tell us your daily routine, Chevy, I have a question that I want to throw in there. Congruence.
Yeah.
Before you worked with Chevy with the mixing, the engineering. Were you talking to anyone else doing that for you?
Um,
Was there anyone else
yeah,
doing that?
yeah. To be honest, yeah. Like just to keep things to fully honest, yeah. Like I did have in between like going to the studio doing Fifth Dimension and working on this album that we ended up doing with Chevy and Barf. Uh, Lazy from the UK. He did a ton of mixing for me, to be honest. He did an album that was kind of never really released. It was a secret release because it was at the lowest point. Like it was kind of like towards the end of my relationship. A
Mm.
lot of the songs you can kind of hear and tell that like
Yeah.
it was about to end, and you could kind of hear it through. Like it was basically, I'll call it like predictive text. You know, like it's like
Oh
the
shit.
shit predicted it, and like Lazy mixed that. He mixed the song that is going to come out soon as well that uh, ended up being mastered by Josh. But yeah, he did a lot of that stuff, and I would send him a lot of files, and he's from the UK, so um, you know he did a lot of that too. So that was someone that I worked with in between that. But then once I started working with Chevy and Barf, we kind of just all locked in, and everything just kind of clicked in a really natural way. And then that's
It's a vibe, bro.
yeah, for sure.
That connection, the energy. It's no denying it.
Absolutely.
There really is no denying it. Go ahead, Chevy. Go ahead and give us a daily routine on how you get things done.
Yeah, it's like day to day. It's like just making sure checking up on the Soul Souls fam. You know, that's the most important for me nowadays. Back
Mm-hmm.
in the day, I didn't have like such a fucking a friendship with people. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
always like competitive, or it's always like people trying to get something off of you. And now I feel like the people that I got tightly to me, that I consider my friends. You know, they're not like people that I work with or whatever. They're just friends. You know, they're homies. It's something so precious. So I wake up and just check on them, and whenever there's something to do with the mixes, for example, for Sage or Struch or like Love CGH, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sent it me through, and we fucking talk about it, working on a little bit, calling with a lot of people, doing the mixes. I find that's really good, like the same thing I did on the album with Congruence and Barfi.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And just like scheduling everything, because honestly back in the day it was like, just fucking small, and it was not really like a lot of people, and nowadays it's getting more and more, so I need to schedule everything, focusing on
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's it actually. Yeah,
How many artists do you work with on when it involves mixing?
with the mixing, that's all of the souls, like if they wanna, because like everybody in the souls, like they have talent, they can mix in their own way. But some
Mm-hmm.
people, they just like, they say, I want to have a better pitching, or I want to notch this a little bit up or whatever, and I'm just help them there. So I would say, the whole of Soul Souls. But outside of that, I also got like a guy called Jay the Kid. He's also really talented, but don't send me a lot of files, or he's really, in the background, not releasing a lot of stuff. Got
Mm-hmm.
Young Gord, the same thing. Young Gord, really talentful guy. He has like
He's on
every
the
Friday
grind. He is
on the
on his
grind,
grind.
every fucking Friday he drops another track, and it's the same because the relationship with mixing I have with him is special, in the sense that he makes his own mixing, and whenever he thinks he wants something done by me, he can learn from it. He catches up on it. So he's like, okay.
Young Vampire
Young
too.
Vampire, the same thing. And those guys, like, it's really fun because they go to school for that too. They told me, they are
Oh,
really, yeah, the vision from them is really onto entertainment slash music industry kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's yeah, that's inspires me. So Young Vampire and Gord. Then we got like Quirk that I have like a few songs that I'm working on. Yeah, a
You
lot
got
of
yeah,
stuff like Sage,
you gotta have like 10 to 15 people on your like your regular
something like
roster
that.
at that point at this point, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
It is.
That's a workload.
It's a
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I don't know. Like that's why the scheduling is so good. I was like, it's a lot to balance. Like, I don't know how he does
trust.
it, but
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It
it
is.
is, man.
Chevy, now, do you keep it a buck if someone's vocals are not to par?
Beautiful.
I like that.
You're really a good podcaster, bro. Let me
I
tell
like
you
this
that.
question. Yeah, I like this
Yeah, I love
question.
you, Baker, man. You have really. I told you already, bro.
Much
Um,
love, dog.
goddamn, like yeah, bro. I had to make an example. I won't say names, but like from a
Yeah.
guy, and he sent me them vocals were really muddy. Like they were recorded on or either his phone or on a stage microphone. And I always say a stage
Mhm.
microphone, it won't work because it don't got the depth in the microphone. You know, you won't hear the bass or the
He
mids.
recorded it, bro. He recorded that on a rock. Like,
It was yeah, bro. And then, but the thing is, like, these people like expect you to put it to a standard that is really high. You know what I mean? And I can
Mhm.
magic.
Yes.
yeah, it's like a ritual. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like they wanted to have it on a good note, but the recording is where it starts. That's what I'm trying to say. If the recording is good, then you can. That's 50-50. If the recording sucks, you
Absolutely.
cannot fix it anymore. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
yeah, the like I said, the example, it was like it was also with like already reverb on it, and I told the dude like, okay, can you at least put down the reverb? Or and he said, yeah, I'm gonna send it again, but then he sent it exact the same file. So
Oh,
some,
damn,
you
bro.
know,
It's real out here, bro.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, and
Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's the vibe, you know. You gotta. That's what all them fans with Soul Souls is. It's a vibe, and all the people like John Gord, Vampire. Besides that, I
mhm,
resonate with them guys. I consider them my friends. You know what I mean? And that's more special than the work. And if that is the essence of what you do, like you want to have a connection with people on which you can base a beautiful project, then I think the project really can glow. And I see that happening over time with a lot of artists that I met in the past couple of weeks. You know,
that's the fam
Absolutely.
for sure. That's the fam.
facts,
Now,
Baker.
with you guys, go ahead and tell the viewers how you guys clicked up.
Yeah, so like I said, like, Barf Keller with that first song, Never Change, that's gonna
Yeah.
come out. That was really the starting point, but it started to all right, so more backstory from my end. I was I had kind of, so I if I'm gonna be fully transparent, and I think I should be for
Just stand on congruence. You already know,
yeah,
bro.
I should be transparent about my journey and what
Hmm.
it taken to get here. Is that I had a major issue with dependence, substance dependence with Xanax, and
Mm.
it's no joke. A lot of rappers rap about it and glorify it, but to be honest,
It's no joke,
it's
indeed.
awful. It's really
Um,
terrible, and people aren't quite educated on how bad it can get. But when you're dependent on something daily, and if you don't take it right at the scheduled time that you're supposed to take it, and
right.
you start to feel dread out of nowhere, and you feel like you're gonna die, that's not a
Yeah.
good feeling to have. And then you run out, and then you can't get more, and you think you're really gonna have a seizure, and you might actually die. It's even
Yeah.
worse. You know what I mean? So I was dealing with
Absolutely.
that, and while I was dealing with stuff like that, I was out of it. And at the time, I had a friend, and we ended up starting a record label. Now, a lot of people were like, "Really? That's ambitious to start a record label during, Corona. Like, it's kind of crazy." But like, we just were going with the flow. Like, we felt like this was the right move, And Lazy was the artist that we had at the time, and I really believed in him. And we were trying to do something bigger here.
That's
But
crazy.
the record label, was it was weighing on me. Everything was really disorganized, and it's no disrespect to anyone.
Mm.
It's just kind of how it went. And but the
You gotta
mission,
organize it good, indeed, though. Yeah.
right? But the mission was to try to, bring some people together. And I had artists that I wanted to sign. My friend had artists he wanted to sign, and like, at the time when I had like, I feel like this is what happened. My memory is foggy from the Xanax. That's another bad effect. But like, I feel like we made Never Change the song, and I feel like it was really it was really good, and I showed it to my business partner, and he wasn't really impressed with a lot of people's music. He was very critical of a lot of
I can
people.
remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I showed him Never Change, and as soon as he heard Chevy's voice, like he was already praising what I was doing on my collabs at the time. Like I really had leveled up at the time, according to him, and I believed also that I just had taken a leap at that point. And I was really locked in,
Mm.
probably from Corona, like probably from, you know, just being there, constantly writing songs and constantly shifting my style. And
Mhm.
then I showed him the song with Chevy, and out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh, this is like." He was like, "I'd never like." His reaction, his jaw dropped when he heard the hook on Never Change. And like,
So
I
much
feel like
love, man.
I feel like what happened was, um, at that point, I'm talking to Barf, and I'm like, okay, let's get you signed to the label. And I'm like, you know, it'd be cool
I
because he was
remember
sending
that too. Yeah, damn.
yeah. So he was like sending a lot of beats, and I'm like, you know what? Like, what if you had your own kind of album, kind of like, I can't think of too many people besides like DJ Khaled doesn't produce, he just gathers the people, but like Mike Will made it. Mike Will made it had the album where he
That's
had
right.
he produced
Yeah,
everything, and I think Metro Boomin did it too, but I know the Mike Will made it one had like a bunch of different features and stuff on it. So I was like, what if you made an album and, you know, you had a lot of features from Young Chevy because they have history together, and like I'll hop on some tracks, you know, and we'll see what happens. And one thing led to another, and it went from like Barf being like, you know, Chevy, you know, has history, we have history, he's going to be on every song basically, to next thing you know, like we started making songs, and now I was on every song. And like if Chevy had an open on a Barf song, like on a beat that Barf made, he would send it to me, or we would send it to each other, or I'd send him an open, and we started making
yeah.
songs.
It was a
And
really good workflow, bro.
for
It
real,
is.
yeah.
And this song right here that you specifically talking about is called "Never Change."
Yeah, that's the first
Yeah.
single. That's the first single, July 2nd, and like
Sheesh.
that
With
that song,
Johnny on it, bro. Honestly,
yeah.
Johnny
So
Coon, shout out.
yeah, definitely a big shout out to him. He I've been talking to him more and more recently. He kind of went off the grid for a little bit to reset, but he is very in line with Chevy and I in terms of how we think. He's very into the spiritual
Such a
stuff,
good
and
soul.
Where's Johnny
yeah,
from?
Arizona. So
Yeah.
you know, like he, like originally, yeah, it's just like I'm looking at this, I don't know who anyone is, and now we all hop back in and reconnected because we were looking to get the artwork done. And Barf, I've been calling him, you know, the good person version of DJ Khaled because he finds everyone. And
The
he
good
Yeah,
part.
found,
I
yeah,
mean, like, I want to shout them all out because, like, they all have like a special thing to them. You know, that's what the Souls intend, man.
No
Like
fact.
Barfi, we, Congruence, you know, we are part of that, and that's, but it's just a bigger thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody can, it clicked all together, and it has to be on a certain time and space. You know what I mean? Because Corona
Mhm.
hit it, a lot of people lost something or
That
something went
too.
wrong. You know what I mean? I know,
That
for
too.
example, QV lost a lot of things and all that shit. You know,
Yeah.
so and then if you have, because in the first place, to refer it back to the source a little bit, it's, we started it off as like AA meeting, and it was not me. It was like
Damn.
I thought it was like Barfi and like Struth, Sick Boy, and a couple other like Solatech and all them peeps.
Mhm.
And
she a little bit later, but it was, yeah, the other
yeah,
people you
Sage.
said started it off for sure. That
Yeah,
not Sage was a little bit after too, but like
yeah.
um yeah, that's why like
That's where it started. I mean, like the only thing I wanted, like that's how it came, like in existence. Like Lazy was in it too. I remember indeed,
yeah,
and
yeah.
team and all this stuff. But um, like there it started just as a place for people where they could talk and where they could share something that they make, and eventually it was music because we all make music, you know. So it turned out,
Mhm.
but it's a place where people could like say, okay, I'm feeling shit or I'm feeling good, and everybody shared it. And
Fact.
that mentality of like sharing not only music or whatever the fuck you're doing, but only sharing it with people that, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
like resonate with you,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there
didn't
was
that
respect.
that
no judgment, and like
exactly that thing that swifted over to a smaller group, and eventually with because through it's like he said like, okay, let's make this now a clear vision, and he made like the Insta group like the called Soul Souls, and from there on it got only better and better as a group, you know.
So, Congruence and Chevy, did you guys click during Soul Souls becoming something or before Soul Souls?
Actually,
definitely
before,
yeah,
yeah,
it was before like, but like it was kind of like um picture like two people running a race. Like it's kind of like we started out ahead, like what we were doing as a trio, like with Barf Keller, and like,
Mhm.
yeah,
and then the Soul Souls thing kind of like aligned with us, and became more parallel as it went along. So like as we started realizing that we're going to make an album together, we made a few songs, but we were in the chat while that was happening. And then
Mm.
yeah,
there's even songs, there's a couple songs in there that like Chevy specifically references it, or even were inspired by set calls and smoke sessions we had in the
yeah,
group. And then basically, as we started to get closer and closer to finishing the album and realizing what songs would be on it, um, that's also around the time that the whole bigger vision to push it out as a collective kind of came to everyone. And it wasn't even really us that said it. Like we would always
no, it was like,
like it was like Chevy would hype it up, but like it was everyone was on the same page about wanting
yeah,
to bring it. Like just overall, everyone had this mutual respect, and a lot of people felt like everyone was
exactly,
underrated, and everyone deserved more credit, and like that's kind of
Hella
what's
underrated.
driving everyone.
yeah, yeah,
For real, you guys need way more credit, but you guys will get it because you guys are all over the place, which makes you guys global. And the music
much
speaks for
fucking love,
itself, dude. Seriously.
It's very global, and like
much
that's
love, man.
yeah. Like I don't know. Like I do try to think of it like what other like collectives like this come from so many different
It's
spots.
like
Like
we
I know that
said, it's like we thought about in the life, you know, like there
yeah,
has
like
to be something special because like you said, Baker, you see like a lot of underground like kind of
Hmm.
posses and cliques starting popping up, and it's good, you know, because
a lot
I
of
really
like
encourage it. They've been creative and sharing some music and hopefully some positivity. But the thing is, with the Soul Souls, in my opinion, is like it's not only about the music. It's really we share every
Hmm.
fucking thing, bro. It's I'm not going in details because it's really personal, but we
Yeah.
talk about like if, for example, somebody feels like okay, you know, I had been through. I'm just putting something out of the air. You know, I've lost someone. Then
Yeah.
he can talk about it, and everybody will help him and try, you know, trying to lift him
Yeah.
up. That to me is more golden than finishing a project with someone I don't know who it
Way more
is.
fun.
You know what I
You're right.
mean?
well,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
like there's that, and the fact that like to me, like I don't think that there's a lack of collectives that are like that. It's more that
Yeah.
those the collectives that come to mind are at least all based in the same country, like
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brockhampton, like Goth Boy, a lot of Goth Boy Click, like Odd Future, like those are the big ones that
Facts.
come to mind. And like the fact that you've got people from the United States, Canada, Netherlands, Romania, like
India,
Argentina, India, like
Argentina,
it's just really rare. And then
Canada.
I said it's Canada, bro. I ain't gonna forget VB, but like
Shout out
yeah,
Phoebe's, bro.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but then you combine that with the fact that everyone is bringing something different to the table, and it's all like Scrooge. I'm not kidding. Like when it comes down to it, Scrooge is a really humble, nice guy, but he's not afraid to say if someone's music
Angel.
is not at the level it needs to
Mm.
be part of the collective. And it's not even trying to like be like a clique or anything. Like it's not even trying to be like clicky or
Not
like
even, no.
pretentious. It's more like everyone who's in there has earned a spot in there through hard work and
Mm.
perseverance, and
Facts.
that's what makes it something that I feel like will eventually take off, because everyone's in there putting the work in, and like they all deal with struggles, but they get past it, and there's no excuses. Like
Yeah.
it's
If
all
I may
they get
interrupt,
it
right?
done.
If
Go
I may
ahead. Yeah.
interrupt, because like if you look at Sage as an example, I'm mixing like 3 songs of his. Bro, he been working 6 days. Like he been I seen it sometimes when he calls us, you know, in the Soul Souls with the video call. He calls us whenever he on work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He be blasting and have no time, and then still pull off like a video clip, like 3 video clips
Seriously.
in a year, bro. That's weird to me, you know. That is so inspirational, and
Yeah, what he
I fuck with
yeah.
the energy of like the fact that you just do it, because I know people in my personal environment having a big mouth saying like, okay, yeah, I can't do this, and me myself, I see myself saying the same thing back in the day, where I was like, I make a music video, film it, but I never edited it, you know, and these people
Mm-hmm.
just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's so fucking dope.
yeah. Just to elaborate on that, I feel like there's this huge stigma where everyone out there thinks like, oh, like another SoundCloud rapper, oh, this person, whatever. Like
Mm.
a lot of people just write it off. Like it's like, do people do that? I don't know if people are necessarily doing that with people who are making other kinds of music. I feel like with hip hop, and I feel like with like people who are on SoundCloud. I personally don't use SoundCloud as much as some of the others in the group, but a lot of people on there have
Yeah, it
pretty
depends on
good
like what they
numbers
can,
on.
because
Yeah, like a
yeah,
lot of people have good numbers on SoundCloud and they prefer it. Like they have the option to use Spotify, but they prefer to go
Yeah.
with SoundCloud. But
yeah, yeah.
there's a stigma where people think that oh, like, you know, I could do that, but you're not doing that. That's the whole
Uh,
point. Is like people,
Yeah,
like anyone, like, you know, anyone could in theory go write a song, hire someone, make a music video, but it really takes that extra vision to do that,
the extra
to
oomph.
do what Sage is doing, to put together a whole horror movie basically and
exactly, and
put it
all
into a
that.
2 or 3 minute clip, and like, you know, like what I'm
Yeah,
doing, you know, like go rent out like anyone could go out and rent
do
out a
them.
movie theater, and I did it for, excuse me, you know, and like
Hella
people,
tight.
like it just
Yeah, bro.
people say like, oh, I could do this, or like, oh, that's not that great, and I've heard even my own friends in real life have said like, oh, like that guy's not that great, like I could do that. Go do it then, man. Like no offense, but like for real, go do it then. Like prove it then.
Big
Like
facts
because
It
though.
is,
it's
yeah, big
not as
fact.
easy. It's not as easy as people be making it look.
And I to be honest, that's the last thing that I'm gonna say about it though. But like that's why I have so much respect. I know, like I've been with my little brother Amet. You know, he masters all the mixes that I do for the people. My little
Mm-hmm.
real brother. Shout out Amet. But he films the
Big shout
shit.
out.
We fucking stand in the field, do a couple of shots. You know what I mean? In the forest, whatever the fuck. We home.
Dang.
But you know what I mean. But then we home, and then we think like, it's not good enough or whatever. But
Yeah.
these people, bro, like Congruent or Sage or I mean Sick Boy also does that, but with like just with the phone, you know what I mean? They just
Uh-huh.
fucking do it, bro, and that's more than respect, because it's the start of a good hustle in
It
music.
is. It is a start. It's a good start.
Yes, yeah, bro.
And I'll be lying to y'all if I said I know every member that's in So-So's. But the ones that I do know, you guys are mad talented. You guys are, the energy is real. And like you said, Chevy,
Yeah,
it's not just the music, it's the fam, right?
exactly.
And if we could just sit here for a moment and really think what collective is really global like you guys, there isn't. And I think there might be a race to it. And I think you guys are the contenders, man. You guys are going to be there because
But
can we
Baker,
really say anything
I
else?
wanna throw that back, bro, because it was also not possible with people like you, bro. Like real people that wanna support and shouting the love and having that connection. Yet again, you know what I mean?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate
I
it.
agree
It's facts,
completely.
brother.
Thank you,
There's
bro.
really
But
not too many people who are gonna like go out of their way to keep in
yeah,
touch and like put it out there that like there's a release out that
Mm.
they're rocking with, like, you know, putting that, like
yeah,
when you're putting Fifth Dimension out there and you put your, like, a song you fuck with, and that you put that out there, like that to me makes it worth it. Like I have high goals for
it
myself and what I want
is.
to accomplish, but every like what
It's
every
just
artist
small.
what every artist
The
needs to
small
start.
things matter, man. That's the whole thing. The
Yeah,
small things does matter.
what every artist needs to understand starting out is like people always get let down if they, like, if I could tell my younger self something, I would say, um, don't worry so much about the big numbers and how many people are listening to your music right now. That's going to take care of
Mhm.
itself in the future as you work harder. Look at how cool it is that you have any international fans, or like a couple people that are actually
Seriously,
Right there, yeah,
willing to
right
give you
there.
money or repost your stuff. Like
for real.
that stuff is so precious, and you can be that guy who's like, man, I'm not where I want to be. This sucks. Like I'm getting under recognized. Or you could be like, this is amazing that people are taking their time out of their day to listen to my music. Let me keep
Hmm.
going and let's
Hmm.
expand it. And that's the mindset shift that I've had to work on for a while. And I know Chevy's been through the same thing.
Facts.
Would you guys say that the lockdown really probably woke up the whole world?
I would personally, I would though. But
I
that's
would
from a
not.
personal note. I would say I would, but not in the sense of like Corona Baker. I would easily say in the sense of like creativity and
Yeah.
spirituality.
Yes.
People have been looking at more sides of life than only the life that they were into already, you know. And how you want to see it, it don't matter. Like some people say like, oh yeah, I can do have more free time because I don't have work. Some people say I'm inside more because of work. Some people say I lost my work so I have other time and it
Hmm.
sucks. And
Hmm.
it's from both ways. I think it's a challenge, but for me personally, if I like see it as creative and like musical, yeah, I see hella things blowing up like actually in the past couple of 2 years or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, you said it yourself, like, and Congruence also, like, there are a lot of fucking people who trying to make like something tightly knitted, but I've always feel like it's forced, you know, because you wanted it so bad, and maybe some people have another vision.
Yeah.
This whole thing, it came together at the fact that the vision was the same, but the people came together. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
that's the opposite law of attraction, in my opinion. And
Wow.
when COVID came along, it just was like the momentum. I feel that with Congruence, I feel that with Barf, but I feel that the same thing with, like, for example, Strouge, Kill, Scar, Naomi, Zamex, because it's that moment that you spend together to make music and talk about
Hmm.
stuff, and at the same time share how you feel, because that's what you do, you know, in beneath, you know, in between. Whenever you talk, you always say like, oh, how you doing, or you know, I've
Yes.
been through this, or this was fun. So it's from both ways. And if you only log into, because I could go I could go to clients and say, or people, and say like, yeah, I just makes this, and then you pay this, and then it's this. People will knock off, you know. If you just have that connection, and you be yourself and just want to approach people as you like to be approached, that's the best way to approach everything in life,
Very
honestly.
true. That is true. A lot of times people they kind of don't show the full character, maybe because of they're shy, maybe they're
Yeah,
nervous and whatnot. But when with you guys are a family. Like I feel comfortable talking to you or like Scrooge or anyone really, and the
that
love
is
is
fucking amazing.
genuine.
That is amazing to hear, because that is, in my opinion, what we aim. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
not being that over exaggerating in front of your fucking face type of people. We do
Yeah.
if it eventually can, but in a soft turn away. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's we just trying to make some music and spread the word, and if people fuck with it, we embrace that. You know?
For real,
N-
for real.
Now, Congruence and Chevy, do you guys want to make it in the music to where you can afford to do whatever you want, or are you trying to reach like big fame?
Um,
Whew. Whew.
I don't like.
Great questions.
I've been back and forth with certain stuff. Like I'll be honest, I do have a bit of like I don't know. I feel like more and
Tell them,
more
Congress. Honesty is key. You already know, bro.
yeah, no cap, no, it's never cap when we talking. So like I personally think I had one experience where I really thought about fame and whether or not I would enjoy it, and I feel like a certain level, no, like I really like it's more to me. It's more about having to being able to just be myself freely and like
Mhm.
make a
Yeah.
living off of music and be able to just express myself. To be honest, the way I carry myself in the life I've been able to be blessed to craft, like with the opportunities I've been given, living in the United States and stuff, I've been able to, wear the clothes I want, dive into
Mhm.
the culture a little bit. And like, to me, I already feel like, I see myself as an artist first and foremost, and I carry myself with a certain type of swagger in person that like
Mhm.
I didn't have before. I was a shy
I
kid
think
in high school, and like,
if to say to give adaptation, because a lot of people say that it's not a good intention. I think it is. I want to put it out there, because you gotta see yourself. I always say that to the people I work with. You gotta see yourself as the rock star on your own music, because if you
Mm.
fuck with your own vibe, you're
100.
gonna fuck with the future you make with it. You
I
know what I
agree.
mean? It's
I agree.
it's all about confidence and security. So you can say it's the same thing with me. Like I make good mixes. You know what I mean? Like of
Mhm.
course, and it's only by saying it and accepting that you can. You already, because people nowadays tend to say like that's cocky, egoistic. It's not, bro. It's embracing who you are. That's all what I want to add to it.
Embracing
Go
who
on,
you are.
Congruence.
No, it's true. And like for me to answer the question more specifically, there is like this idealized version of what I want to happen in my head, and it looks a little bit something like this. It's like I want to have the freedom to spend my money the way I already do. I already spend it very, for the situation I'm in, it's a little bit foolish the way I spend my money on the amount of like clothing and shoes and fragrances and just all that shit. Like I'm really like I just indulge in life, and like the restaurants I go to, all of it, like chains, like I'm into all that shit. So like, but it's just because I really appreciate everything on such a deep level, and I
Mhm.
want to I
Yeah.
like I'm half of me is in that materialistic world, but half of me is in that spiritual world in my head all the
But that's
time, but like
important, bro. That's the thing that I want to say
yeah.
is like, yeah, it's not only light, it's not only darkness, it's both sides. You gotta
Mhm.
have like that. You gotta enjoy your money. You gotta fucking spend it, and you gotta do something with it. But at the same time, you also gotta know that it's not all about it, and you do it for the love. But if you
No, no, no,
do it,
no.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, yeah, I wasn't. What I'm trying to say is that like my ideal situation with like fame and success and all that is that I would be relatively known. I do want to be recognized for the work I've put in and to have
Mhm.
a dedicated fan base of people, but
Yeah,
not so much that it gets to the point where you're sitting down at a restaurant and you can't eat a meal with people bothering you. I personally
exact. Yeah.
like I don't think I'm gonna let myself get to that level, but sometimes you can't really control that.
Yeah.
I would just like to make I put money into it, I put time into it. I'd like to I think this year is where I'm kind of shifting towards asking people, I'm gonna put effort into playing a concert. I deserve to be compensated, and it's the same with Chevy
Mhm.
making his mixes and stuff. Like, it's like
It's work.
it's
Partly too,
it's
honestly.
work, it's the craft. Like that's how it works in the industry. And like, yeah, like
Yeah.
my goal, basically, to answer the question, my goal is to is to have enough money so that I can live comfortably and do what I want to do, but also like, yeah, I don't care about the fame. I don't think that that's a big part of it
It
for
will be
me.
nice if it happens, you know what I mean? But if it doesn't and we still stick to each other as a family in about 50 years, I will be happy at the same way, you know what I mean?
50.
Mm.
Let's say it like that, bro. If we survive.
It's a big if, bro.
You said 50. So Chevy, you agree with Congruence on the level of fame?
yeah, of course, you always want to have something because nowadays when I worked for this company, this metal factory, I had like a good decent income, and you can like live well with like every day you have a good warm meal and you have some bread. And
Hmm.
now it's away because of Corona, like I said in the live, and
Yeah.
it really sucks on two hands, like not only financially, but also like you miss that structure, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to grip at with the mixes that I'm doing right now, to get that structure from work that I am
Mm.
familiar with, put that into the mixes that I want to be familiar with. You know what I mean? The thing is only like if I reach a point where I can order that, have a home for myself, because I don't have like a house or whatever. I live in a pretty
Hmm.
weird environment, and if I have like these goals settled, and I'm not talking about like big things like music, then I would already really be proud of myself, and I've achieved a lot. If eventually then we meet up as a group, I think I can die easily. If we
Yeah.
that will be all, because like at the moment, to be honest, I'm not going into detail, but I live at a place that is not my own. I have an apartment, but it's from a mental health facility because of my past. And whenever I skip this place of my life, you know what I mean, I can
Mhm.
open a new chapter in my life and hopefully get the souls to meet each other and make that shit happen. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's a good mindset. That was actually a really good answer because I fit par with that. If I'm able to buy myself a good meal and have a place to sleep and call home,
Yeah,
then that's success for me, you know?
for me too, bro. Because yeah, I had like all that I wanted. Like I constantly say to everybody in the Soul Souls, like also to like Bar Fee and V, if I had the money, then I would invest it like I did back in the day, but did the wrong things because I had work and now I don't have work, so I cannot invest it.
Yeah,
So
true.
it's like a struggle at that point. But at the same time, I'm really grateful for what I have because people say I want to pay for a mixes of whatever. It's not about that. It's the recognition, it's the fun, it's the love
Hmm.
that you receive from both ways. And
Hmm.
yeah, so it, you know what I mean? For me, that is fame. And if fame can accelerate to like a part where we are jumping in a pool in Spain with a lot of money and shit, yeah, that will be fucking dope, you know? But
Yeah,
but that's just personal, you know? I already feel fame at what I have so far. It's blissful to me.
this one. Now, Chevy, what was first, the mixing or you being a musician, like singing, using your vocals?
Singing, bro. Yeah. Yeah. And doing my own vocals, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, do you love them equally, or is there one over the other?
You mean like from myself, my songs, or like from other people?
Yeah, for yourself.
For myself, yeah. Always like the newest one I'm working on is the hardest. And it sucks, you know what I mean? Because you find a beat or Barfi sends a beat or whatever, and you think like, okay, I'm gonna do something for fun because I'm stoned or I'm bored and I want to do something. So you go up and then you fuck with it, you know what I mean? Then you think, okay, this is good. So you continue, but the song that you made previous on which you thought like that's a banger right there, that's not a
Hmm.
banger no more, that's swifted to the new mindset that you have in the momentum of making that new track. That's what I
Yeah,
experienced.
I feel that all the time, but like what I try to remind myself of recently is like, because I'm gearing up to play some concerts, is that
Yeah,
just because we've progressed as artists and like I feel like we're making better and better stuff every song we lay down.
Hmm.
That doesn't invalidate the other songs that we've made, because there's still people out there who will tell me their favorite song is like,
yeah,
Einstein or Murder My Demons, a song, one of the first songs I ever released, and it's crazy to me because I'm like, that song compared to what I'm doing now, like it almost can't even, like I'll only put that in the live set because it's a request, but you have to realize that other
yeah.
people still see that as a banger, and it's
Dang,
like,
that's
but
very
as an
true.
artist though, it's always going to be this conflict
It's
where
really nice that you
you
bring that up, Congruence,
yeah,
because that is important too, because you always gotta think about your audience. If you
Oh
work
yeah.
on a project, bro, you tend to lock it in, like we always say. And the problem
mhm,
with the good thing with it is you can go continuously with a project, so you get focused and want to do everything perfect for the structure of a song, just to have a sketch, like a drawing. You know what I mean? You have the
Hmm.
first
right,
lines, and then later on you can catch up on that, and with a like orientation from the artist, you can work on it. But the thing is, like, if you just have one song that you work on and you think like, okay, I'm gonna bang to this, you always can better finish it right away. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Or just like make it as perfect as you want it, because you're gonna stack it so much, and you're gonna have so many projects, and you can get so lost in your own work that
yeah,
Seriously.
and one
oh
day
my
it
god,
and one day it can,
yes,
and the thing is
yeah,
like, it's not
that's
only
setting.
it's not only scheduling, but it's really about like, okay, what do I need to do first, and what do I want to remember for later?
Mm.
That's setting off a lot in my brain personally. Like, I used to do something where I would like have a beat and like I'd start off and I'd have like a hook, but I would write like the first verse, but I would wait, and like I'd find that if I didn't finish the song in one go, that like coming back to it and trying to write a second verse, like
Yeah,
it'd be like trying to like build a house in two different locations and
yeah,
call it
yeah,
the same house, so like
Yo, perfect example.
yeah, like
yeah,
I can't,
yeah,
I couldn't do it. So then I realized like, and I think this is just the cool thing about how Chevy and I and a lot of artists these days work, is that what we do now is like, it's really spontaneous. Like we hear a beat, and if we
true,
vibe with it, it's very usually it's very quick that we end up finding the melody and putting down what we're going to do. And if it's good,
Mm.
we kind of know at this point, because I at least, I'm a perfectionist, and if you want to go back to the astrology and stuff, like I
It's
guess
true.
like I'm a Virgo. I guess that's a big trait of Virgo is perfectionism and shit. And like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so
It's
like I always like, even when I was like saying to myself on my first album that like it was gonna be a big success, there was still this deep down feeling that I hadn't made what I needed to make yet, and
Oh
I
wow.
still I still have felt that, and I didn't really that feeling didn't really fully go away until I started making a couple like some of the stuff on Fifth Dimension, and I had this one friend that's super critical and like would always just be like, you have potential, but you're not writing to the level that I know you can. And I always kind of like thought that
But
he was
that
being,
shifted though.
I thought I was being he was being too harsh, but he was being realistic because it was a reflection of what I felt inside. And then
Yeah.
he heard "Excuse Me" and he's like, that song could blow up. And hearing that from someone who's so critical about it, like it meant something.
Damn.
But at the same
It
time,
is.
it didn't matter what he thought at that point. It was just a bonus because
Yeah.
I had already felt like I was starting to unlock my potential. But like even
Your
since
confidence
then,
is never wrong. You always need to seek that potential. You need to go for that because people or tend to overreact on that, or they tend to say like, "Nah, I'm not looking for that." You know. Either way,
Right.
right?
it's wiggly. But if you found that balance, it's good, man. You want to reach potential. It's the same thing with me. I want to, of course, mix for a lot of people and do a lot of stuff, hit the stage and all that shit because that's a plan, you know. But at the
Mhm.
same but at the same time, I'm still like, yeah, I want to, I'm grateful, and I don't want to. You got to find balance in this shit.
Yo, but going back to excuse me, man, that video's got some numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah, the video and on Spotify, both of them, like overall, I think the combination, like that's the most I've ever done on anything. So it's like it's
No way.
cool. It's cool.
Congrats,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you, man. It's like I think like
so
it
much
was at
love,
like
man.
17K and 15K or something like
Woo.
that. So it's like 32 and 59. So like that's crazy to me, but I did, like I was saying from the start when we were making the video, I was like watch, like I was saying to the people who were initially, there was going to be a different concept, which is just interesting. But
Who
and
directed
initially
it?
it was a combination, actually, really. Like it was a real cool group effort in my opinion, because like it started off with, you know, it started off with my
It
um
displays though. You can see it. It's a really nice video indeed.
Really?
it started off with like a lot of different people coming together with ideas. So like, you know, my girlfriend at the time brought up the idea that the movie theater could be rented out. And then from there, I went and sat down with my friend that I talked about earlier, who got me into music.
Yeah,
And I sat down with him and his fiance, and we sat by the lake and we started shooting, spitballing ideas out there, right? And then
Hmm.
we came up with this loose concept that we didn't end up executing it exactly in the video the way we initially had, but we had this loose concept. And then we brought in Caro, who's the actress in the video. She also co-directed it as well. She had a ton of input on it because she is really into this director. Oh shit! No,
you're looking it up.
here comes the drug brain. Nah, like it's so
I'm
stupid.
I'm high as fuck too,
I
bro.
heard I heard the name so many times, like that I don't know how. Like, but like guy who did like the Royal Tenenbaums and like those movies, and like basically
Crazy.
whoever the hell it is that I clearly know the name but can't remember. Um, that person was very into like symmetry and having the camera be like having the whoever is in the shot being always like centered and stuff. So she brought that to the table, and there's a lot of little details that you don't really notice, but like she brought that to the table, and like we all kind of collaborated on, oh, what can we do? And the initial concept was to have me watching the past unfold on the movie screen. And
Um,
I got the video edited pretty fast, and it was like a last minute decision because I wasn't gonna edit, like wasn't gonna release it, but I got
There's a
kind of,
mind behind it, you know. That's the whole key of it. That's good though.
yeah,
That's
a
what
lot of people
music in general.
people convinced me to release it, and you know I didn't want to release it because it was dealing with some stuff that was traumatic for me, but I felt like releasing it ultimately was the right choice because it's an artistic expression, and it shows a chapter of my life, and like whether or not people
Yeah,
see the deeper meaning, it
mm,
doesn't really it doesn't matter because like I'm not gonna really explain it, but like
it's an
it's
overall
it's
good video,
there.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Damn. So you're saying that there's a deeper meaning behind the song? Excuse me.
No, the song is literally just like an alien love song, just like, just chilling, like, like I don't to be honest, what's cool about the song is that it wasn't
Congruence
a,
an alien, by the way, just so you know, bro.
yeah, Chevy is too. Like, I was showing my friend, I was like, I showed my friend a picture of him the other day. I was like, doesn't he legit like actually look like what people sketch out like aliens to
You're
look like?
stupid, dog.
No cap, no cap. And like, no, but like, excuse me, bro. Like, all right. So on the album, right, there's 3 songs. They're all at the end. So the last 3 songs, "Roll with Me," I'm going backwards. That's the outro. I love it. Honestly,
Yeah, hell yeah.
one of my favorites. And then "Excuse Me," and then "Common Sense." Those 3 were free beats that I got from buying the rest of the beats. Like, I bought like
Oh, damn.
I think I bought VHS tapes, like the intro, and I got like I got.
How much were they, Congruence, to be honest?
I'm not answering
I'm
that.
curious.
That's just I don't
Continue,
know.
bro. Continue. I never said it.
I don't know about that question.
Go on,
Nah,
bro.
like the beats vary like in price. Like, like to be honest, I had a few producers that I was rocking with, but not a lot of people that I was in touch with. So that's the cool thing
Yeah.
about Barf is like, and that's why like I have no problem like
I
sending
mean,
him money whenever he wants, because he just really was crafting the beats to what we wanted, and it was special.
yeah.
But the thing is, like, "Excuse Me" was a beat that I got for free with like VHS tapes, and like I made the song "Excuse Me." Took a video, like, so that's kind of what like, my process too is. Like, I'll take a video on QuickTime just so I don't forget the melody. I had that somewhere, and then I waited, and I kind of was like, all right, I have this album, and I wrote these songs for like 30 days straight. I had this challenge with someone, and like we were like, all right, write a song a day, and I wrote like for 30 days straight. And what came out of it, and I was like, all right, so Interstellar Takeout, VHS tapes, like Lemongrass, these are all like aliens and UFOs. That's like a collab with a producer, Beats by Sutton, that like is from Massachusetts too, and I love that guy, and like we've been meaning to collab forever, and we finally did. So those songs I knew were going to be on the album. So that's 4 songs, and it was almost going to become an EP. And then I went back and revisited "Excuse Me" and a few of the other ones, and I started to be like, okay, these songs aren't actually bad. And then I'm like, you know what? These are kind of pretty cool. And I'm really big into. I talked about this with Scrooge a lot too. Like, it's really sequencing of the tracks on an album is really important to me, and I felt like those 3 at the end really did a good job of closing the album out, especially having "Roll with Me" as the closer.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
So what's?
feedback.
Yeah, there's some feedback.
Yeah, I hear that feedback, but I think it's done, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
now
good
it's
now.
gone.
Okay, great, dog. Shit, yeah, the last part I didn't hear. Congruence.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I'm really into sequencing when it comes to like the track listing and the order of the tracks, and like I kind of already knew what the first 4 tracks were, but I didn't really understand that like I always, like, for my last album, Patterns, like the last song was Autumn, and like it kind of completed like this cycle of
Yeah.
like
Oh wow.
like the album, and it wrapped everything up, and it had these themes, and I'm like, that's the closer, that makes sense. But with this album I didn't really have that at the time, and then eventually I just did this, and I'm like, "Roll with Me," that song fit really well. The way it kind of was just really smooth and laid back, I was like, it just kind of like soothes the listener out of the listening experience, because the beginning of the album kind of starts off a little bit more hyped, and then it kind of chills out as it goes along. And like
Uh,
with with the album, the collab album, Go, with Barf and Chevy, like I was really really into the sequencing of it. I was really like, all right, this track should be here, like we should have a project that kind of flows in this order. And like Chevy can talk about like whether or not I'm lying, but
No,
like,
it was a yo.
so you guys have more than just one song that you guys are working on?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we
Oh
have like a
shit.
couple of things.
Chevy hinted at it, but yeah, we will
The
be
thing is, we have this album with Barfi.
Yeah.
I wanna put Barfi a little bit more on the spot, man, because
for
like the
sure.
dude, the dude has made so many fucking beats in such a small period of time. You know what I mean? And he did the same thing for with Congruence, because Congruence was like he said, like, we need to make an album, and like, with the reference that you took, we want to have beats only by Barf Keller, and I was down with it, and he made them. He delivered, like, he made like 5 beats, or at least sounded like 5 beats a day. And we just got like back and forth. You know what I mean? We was like, I got something. I was rapping on some. Congruence was rapping on some. He showed it to me. I showed it to him. He was like, "Yeah, bro, we can do some on that." I was like, "Yeah, bro." So that was just a constantly going back. It was literally like, yeah, maybe that sounds really dumb what I'm saying right now, but it felt literally like cohesion. You know what I mean? It got
It was
so
so,
round and
yeah,
perfect.
so natural, bro. Like, and like,
Exactly.
like, I'll be honest, not everything, not every beat made it to the album. Not every song,
Not
you know,
every song made it,
yeah,
indeed,
not
bro.
every song made it, but like there wasn't really a ton of songs that we threw away. Like
But
we,
it was like a good thing, because we made so much that we even eventually had like, okay, wait, this song was on the album. You know what I mean? We had that
yeah,
thought of like,
yeah,
but the thing is, like, as quickly that I want to say about Barf is like, the dude makes this shit that y'all hear from like Never Change, but also from other older songs, always on the laptop without speakers and without microphone, like Congruence said in live, and it's crazy. He masters that shit also, you know. And I
It's
really hear the difference whenever I downloaded it and played it on speakers. It's really balanced. You know,
it's
there's not a
insane.
lot of high frequencies or irritating noises in the back. It's really perfectly pitched
He's
on
gotta
a
get
laptop.
he's
Yeah,
got to
bro.
get like, but like the funny thing is, like, people always are like, bro, you gotta like send them speakers, and like, legit, the only reason I haven't done it is because I have this paranoia that
I know.
if he changes any step in his process, that it's gonna throw
oh
something off. Like,
shit,
don't,
you're
if it's not broken,
Crazy.
don't fix it. And he's literally like, he's mastered these songs to a level where they're just
It's insane.
they're loud, but they're so balanced, and like the vocals, like the it's just the mixing
Baker,
and the
you gotta know
mastering.
that this
It's
guy
peanut butter and
listens
jelly,
to it
bro.
on the laptop speaker. You know what I mean? Not the
For
bass. He
right.
has
real.
That's what's
fucking.
so crazy, though. You're right.
Yeah.
It best be that you don't get him those those new speakers, because am I?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Holy shit, dude! So you got mixing, engineering, the rapping, the singing, the producers, the beat making. It sounds to me you guys are a well-oiled machine. You guys are not even reaching out to anyone outside.
Yeah, I wanna like the Soul Souls, bro. Shout out to everybody, man. Like Kill, like Strucci, like
Waterland, like, throw some
Winnerland.
respect.
Yeah, Winnerland. We have some, of course.
Throw
Love
some respect on
CGH.
our
You know
name,
what I
bro.
mean?
Yup.
It's Romania and this bitch. We have like fucking Ahmed, you know, Foster. We got like Amni. We got like Southside. We got like
Sick
Team.
Boy,
We got
Sage,
fucking Sage,
Zolatech,
Trouble 99, bro. Solatech with the pencils, bro. She killing it. We got
Wavy,
Wavy,
Scar.
you know, the smoking motherfucking Dutch boy. We got Emans, bro. Emans, the
Oh shit!
UK motherfucking
I don't. I want to
head
make sure
ass.
we didn't forget it. When I really think we just
Bro, we
literally.
got
I
like
think
ID Weave. We got
we got
Zamexy.
everyone.
We got them all, man.
I think
And
we well, we didn't say V, but we said him earlier, and
bro, V go to he from Canada and he
it's
makes some fucking drugged up ass beats, man.
Zamaxi, and then uh
Yeah, Zam, but also Foster, you know. Foster is some type of guy
just
that
Sheena's theme
doesn't really,
too.
yeah, just in the team. Yeah,
But
Damn, the whole crew,
yeah,
that's
there's
the whole
a
thing.
lot of
the
souls
whole
up in that
crew.
bitch, bro.
And you know what's so crazy is you no cap. I'm not capping, dog. You guys are all hella talented in your own right.
Crazy.
And if it's not you guys, which I know it's gonna be all of you, but it's gonna be someone. You guys are all multi-talented. You know what I mean?
It's
Someone's gonna
because
be
love. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
no, you're good. And I was gonna say, usually a lot of collectives or bands they break up as they reach more and more success.
Yeah.
But the one group I think I can name that's still successful is Migos, and they're still together.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like in the
Yeah. I see where you're going.
real mainstream shit is like them. Barf sent me a video just recently about like them saying like we don't like we don't break up or something like that. But like Brockhampton too, like I listen to them a lot. They're even bigger of a collective.
Oh yeah.
They had to kick a member out and shit. They lost members, but their main members have been there for like 5-6 albums or something. Like
No, but to be
so
honest, like in the Soul Souls, it's the same. Like if you, for example, if there's something really fucked up that you've done, like for example, you've been as extreme, really
Mhm.
extreme. But if you murdered someone or whatever the fuck, of course you get kicked out the motherfucking Soul Souls, bro. We ain't fucking with that shit, like legitimately. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, it's
well, I think it's important to
you
say that,
know
that's happened. Like, not no one's murdered anyone, but there has been people who've
there
done
has
shit that
been, yeah, there has been
we don't
people in the
condone.
group that
They
been
got
kicked
bounced
out,
real
and
quick. Yeah, they get bounced real quick. We
Yeah.
don't fuck with that shit. We don't fuck with
because they
anything like
because
that.
they did some, yeah, they did something, not to get into detail, that we didn't
Mhm.
really fuck with and shit like that, and then Scrooge came into place, and he fixed it, kicked them out.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
talked about
it's
it.
it's
Yeah,
happening all the time. You gotta keep your click tight, you know what I mean? But it's more like on a good note, because they didn't resonate anyway, and
Mhm.
the fam that is now is just so resonant. I mean, it's also like, Congruence, and like, for example, Southside met Emus and such. Solartech, they live in the UK. Me and Triple Scar, ID Wavy Emir live in the Dutch, so it's already close.
Mhm.
But they just gotta get to that next part, man. You know what I mean?
Have you guys? I know that you guys have the playlist on SoundCloud.
yeah,
You guys
True.
have words for like a compilation album or so?
yeah. So like, so there's a Spotify playlist too, and SoundCloud, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's I don't know why, to be honest. Like, people can call me out for saying this, but I don't know why it went down this way. But like, there was like a collab album talk for a while, and then someone made like a collab chat that's like members from Sold Souls, and then
Yeah,
another
it's the
collective.
XO Click, X
Yeah,
Soul Souls
like is
collaboration.
it
Yeah.
Zemexy's click? Like, I personally don't understand it, and I don't know like how much.
Well, it's good though to expand some knowledge, but that's the thing with the groups. It's like Soul Souls is like a family, and that chat is like, it came into existence just for the project and just to try and, you know what I mean. It's not the
Mhm.
same.
Yeah, I guess to answer the question, I don't know if it's possible for like like a compilation album, yes, but like a cohesive album, like the album that Barf, Chevy, and I made is very cohesive because our styles meshed really well together. But you've got people in that group that are all over the place, and I think that like Sick Boy, Sage, and I, like I said, like all have like a different sound, but would fit
Yeah,
together on a concert and could fit together on a song. But
Mhm.
like, could all of the artists in the group fit together on an album and have it sound cohesive? I don't think so, because
it's
everyone's so
hard,
different. I don't think so because everyone's so different unless they like drastically change their style. But
but
could
at
it
the
be
same
a
time,
cool
that's really
compilation
beautiful.
album? Yeah, like could it be a compilation album?
Yeah,
Like, definitely, definitely.
and at the same time, that's really beautiful because it's versatile. You know,
Yeah, it shows off like how different the whole thing is, and I really want like
exactly.
I think it's cool how the Sold Souls page Ements is putting a lot of work into
Yeah,
this
shout out Emas too.
this series meet
Lovely
the soul
dude too, man.
meet the souls, where he's kind of giving a little backstory on everyone. It
You know,
kind of
it's
gives the
Eman's
world.
Eman's
It kind
doing the
of
fucking Instagram from the Soul Souls. He been working hard for that, making beautiful descriptions and really trying to push it up. But Zolatech also, bro, she wanted to do. We have so many people that are so creative, that have so many ideas for the Soul Souls, that at this point it only can get further. You know what I mean?
That's
It
true.
can't stop.
So, is it just Emance that's in control of the Soul Souls Instagram, or is it a collective that works on?
No, it's just immense. Yeah, he working on, like, it's just posting the most recent tracks and some information about each individual artist. But since it's so new, and I gotta really shout him out for that. Like, he's really detailed in his work. So he wants to have a good description, a good photo, and edit it pretty well with the colors of the Soul Souls. And so that takes some time, but eventually everybody from the Soul Souls will be on there, and the newest releases hopefully will be on there. It's gonna be insane.
Damn! Shout out to Emance for that. That's crazy.
Exactly.
What about YouTube? Do you guys have a YouTube for the Soul Souls yet?
No, not yet.
nah.
If
it's
that was
like
a YouTube, I would control it though. Honestly.
it's like step by step, but like I think that sometimes it takes a little bit it takes a little bit of just kind of like certain bigger things happening to push people in that direction. And like
Hmm.
I do think that it's a good idea to have multiple people run the Instagram, because Immense works a lot too, so it's like it kind of
Yeah.
like it's, but he also has a very specific vision for the page, so I have no problem with him controlling it, and I think a lot of people agree. But I think more people throwing their ideas out there and being more proactive about it is going to be what really makes or breaks it. Is like just everyone
True.
getting their ideas out there and like really executing them. And I think that a lot I think what I sense from some people still is that like they're just not sure whether or not they're destined to be a musician. And I think that
Mm.
I think more
Yeah.
people
But
need to realize that they are like
but that
this is
comes
what we're
back to
here
the
for.
thing of like the confidence part, bro. I think confidence does a lot. If you
For
have
sure.
confidence in your craft and what you do, and that's really what I encourage. That's what I like about the Soul Souls. For me, it's the most important thing in music I have. You know, the fam there. It's like the confidence that you want to see in people whenever you work for, with them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's crazy.
And
Like,
and,
Young
and it's
Good, for
gonna
example, like, for example, Young Good, bro. I was working with him, and I now work on like his fourth track. It's a actually featuring with Congruence. How can it be? But like,
yes.
you can hear the improvement in the vocals. Like, it's not singing like this. Like,
Hmm.
it's now singing like, yeah. It's going
That
off. You know what I
range.
mean? It's
Some
Yeah.
but yeah,
American
but it's
Idol
that
shit, bro.
expression. You know what I mean? It's that off going feeling. It's that power in the voice that
Hmm.
you need to grow.
That
And
It
song's
if
really
you,
does.
crazy, bro. That song's crazy. I got so much like I think I
it's
brought
true.
like he expressed his interest. Like he was saying how much he loved Excuse Me, and I'm like I as mutual admiration. I loved the stuff he was putting out. I first got introduced to his music through Young Vampire, because
Yeah.
they've been collabing a lot. And like Young
Hmm.
Vampire is a crazy talented young artist too. I believe he's still 17 as well. It's just
Yeah.
crazy, all these young artists who are
Damn.
so talented. But like yeah, Young Gord, like he was saying how much he loved Excuse Me, and I'm like, yo, we should collab. Fuck it, right? Like, cause we
It's
just had a.
amazing.
I felt like his style worked well, like really melodic and like a unique voice. And
Hmm.
he he sent me two opens. I threw one on. I remember one day just like driving around and like going to get some food on a nice summer day, and like
Yeah.
he threw me
Perfect.
this open, and like instantly I'm like, oh wow, this is like it gave me like an upbeat Juice World vibe, but so unique and original and refreshing. And like instantly I'm like, I need to. Anytime someone sends me something like that, I'm in, like Chevy did it first, and then Gord. I get inspired, and the next thing you know, I'm like, I have to spaz on this, and like I go and I put my own little
Mhm.
magic on it, but I always try to stay in the theme of the song, but also put my own spice on it, and I can't wait for that song to drop. Like,
By the way, I gotta say, Baker, you have beautiful questions, man. You can,
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah,
you are a beautiful podcaster. I want to do this more, man. You have beautiful questions. Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that. My next question was actually going to be about lyrics. Do you guys write 100% all your lyrics?
yeah. I take
Goddamn, throwing them
yeah.
again.
I Chevy, go ahead. I've been talking. Yeah,
No, no, no. Yeah, it's yeah, I really love them. Fucking, I'm looking at like in between, right? I'm looking at like a lot of interviews online from a lot of artists, bro. You'll be a
Mhm.
go, okay, Baker. You'll be out there.
Yo, that means
Um,
so much. I appreciate that for real. That means a lot.
you do your research and shit. I love you, bro.
he appreciates it, but answer the question.
Yeah, no, no, no. I just want to say because I've been listening, and it's
It's
just
love.
you know, no, me personally, I just whenever I really record for myself, I put on my interface, my mic, and just actually, if I hear a beat, I go, okay, this is a beat with a certain type of mellow. I'm trying to because I'm a vocalistic melodic guy, so I try to
Hmm.
trying to sing something, rap something, just what fits. But I never actually write something. I just go off on the beat, and yeah, if it rhymes and if it fits, then I go with it. Yeah, I really yeah, it's really short, but I just go with it. I don't actually write no more. I used
Oh
to do
wow.
in the past, but I figured whenever I did in the past, made it difficult for me because like when I was focused into the creativity of like the mellow and what I could do, I was also focused on the text and I was more focused on the lyrics than on the project. So
Mm,
at one time I was like, okay, I did some freestyles, and at that point I felt like, yeah, that's feeling better, and then I get better at English, you know what I mean? And yeah,
that's
Yeah,
incredible.
to bounce off of that, that's like I touched on it a little bit earlier on how like how I was
yeah,
saying I couldn't finish, like I wasn't finishing songs that if I didn't finish it at the whole like all in one
yeah.
sitting. I always say that like the way that I write now, it's not that 8 Mile mom spaghetti Eminem style, like it's not it's not sitting there and like trying to perfect every
I love that,
line.
bro.
I feel like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it used to be like that, like for a lot of artists, and like no disrespect to people who that's their approach, but to me, it's mostly like more of a Jay-Z approach where you're kind of like
True.
you're coming out and you're kind of like you're doing it in
yeah,
your head, you're freestyling in your head, and you're kind of like, oh,
yeah.
this is catching
Exactly
on.
that.
Yeah, like
Wow.
this is catching on, and then you're like, okay, let me go write that down before I
Yeah.
forget it, record it before I forget it, and then the next thing you know, you've got your hook, and then you kind of
For
just put
yeah.
it in, and like
For for example, like I have this thing with Scar that I do. He sent me open today, and I heard the beat, and I was like, if I write to this, I know I'm gonna fuck it up, so I'm gonna just do some. And it turned out really great because it
Mm,
was a melodic vibe. It was something different that he normally did. You know what I mean? And it
yeah, he's been
inspired
experimenting,
me. And yeah, exactly. So you gonna experiment it yourself on it too, and I
right?
think really that's key. And a lot of people are so locked into the fact that they have this vision so much in their head that it becomes an obstacle that
mm.
you know if you just go with the flow, then it's
It's a
all right.
it's basically like um
So
it comes back
cliche
to
but so true.
no, I mean like meditation and stuff. Like the reason why like I don't meditate as much as I'd like to, but music for me is
Mm,
meditative because I don't like think about it. I feel like the less you think about it, the more you feel it. It's an emotional thing. Even if you're writing like
true.
hype tracks, or like even if you're writing just like the most simple stuff, like it has to come from a like even like a dumb song, like it has to come from like, all right, let me give you an example. Not even my songs, but let me give you an example that like sums up what I'm saying. Like I Love It by Kanye and Lil Pump. That's such a goofy ass song, bro. But
Oh yeah.
they
Oh
had to
yeah, yeah.
they had to, it still came from a place of emotion, even if it was like childlike, like
God damn, yeah.
goofy, like immature, like let's
A
have
little
fun
block
with it.
shit.
It
The
still came from
bro
it's
Baker
still
notes.
yeah, it still came from like a place of some emotion, you know what I mean? Like even if it was like
Yes.
giddiness, like so it's all about feeling, and like for me that's why it works better. It never works well for me when I try to sit down and like write stuff. It's always just like what me feeling the beat, me feeling what I'm feeling in life, and just expressing it, and it's become so natural, and I'm grateful to have that in my life.
It
It's crazy.
is, man.
Every other day I'd be like, I don't rap for kids. Sorry, I'm not Drake.
Drake, yeah.
It's okay. So
Yo.
let me break that down for you. It's I don't dance for kids.
You
I
got me
don't da-
there, Baker.
I don't I don't dance for kids. Sorry, I'm not a Drake, because I wrote it around the time that he did like the Tootsie slide shit, and
Yeah, yeah.
there's a TikTok trend, and like obviously everyone who was into it was like mad young, even the kid who invented the dance and shit was like young. So I was just like,
Yo.
I don't mess with Drake. I don't fuck with Drake. I think
uh,
he's been kind of like creepy texting, like
yeah,
For real?
like he had this thing with Millie Bobby Brown, like from Stranger Things, and it was kind of weird, like
yeah. That's
all this
weird.
weird
Yeah, I've seen
shit. I
that.
don't fuck with that, and I just don't fuck with like his attitudes. So um
Oh shit.
So that
Oh
was a deep
shit.
lyric, bro. Those are deep lyrics, man. Usually I write them
Hella
like
deep.
that's a goofy
the
ass
one
lyric.
time whenever we meet up, Congruence, you showed me lemongrass, and that shit
Mm.
was deep. And I did something on the same beat that Congruence did a lemongrass on.
Oh, that's true. Don't
But
tell
my
anyone
my
that.
fucking you get that shit. My shit was like really. It was what I described. Like it's going on a mic and just feeling the vibe and just
Mm.
vibe with it. Okay.
Seriously.
Eventually, if you think, okay, I want to change a little bit of the lyrics because it's too goofy or whatever, then you change it. But in the first instance, you just like, oh, yeah, you go with the flow,
That is
Mm.
and
true.
and
Yeah,
and
I
and,
will
and
read
then
right.
but that's the bars because I didn't write, and sometimes I write, I have this track with like Barfi, it's called "It's Okay." It's really unknown, but it don't matter. But that song I really wrote down on paper, like old school.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it does help, and yeah, it can lift up. But it's the moment. It's really all about the moment in music. If you feel something, you gotta purchase, follow that. Persuade it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to always note down ideas because sometimes ideas disappear. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I take videos of anything, like, because,
Mm.
well, partially because I'm always high, but like also
It
it's just like
helps.
yeah, I need to, like, I have this thing. I don't know if it's in my head or not, but like it does really impact me. Where like if I write something, I do a lot of writing late at night, and like if I
Mm-hmm.
write something and I like it enough, or even if I think it might be turn into a song, I always make a point of recording it because I often will forget my melodies, or how I'll write
Yeah.
these lyrics and be like, how did that fit in? And then I'll try to
That's the
practice it,
worst.
and I'm like, I forgot.
Mm.
And
That's
usually
fucked
those, if I don't record the video, it was probably wasn't meant to be. That's the way I look at it.
Damn, that's like the most fucked up part is like forgetting that melody. You have the lyrics in front of you, but you forget
Right.
the melody.
Yeah.
But then I go and I refer the video, and I'm like, oh, like that's how I did it. And I'm like, okay, okay.
Now, Congruence, you have a release show coming up on the 3rd of July with the Bat Kings. Who's the Bat Kings? How'd you click up with that?
Okay, that's a great question as well. So the Bat Kings was like,
Baker is amazing, man.
so that's my homie Evan, and basically I remember when I was just starting out, like building a fan base on SoundCloud a little bit. I just remember, just kind of randomly connecting with someone, the Bat Kings out of New York. I didn't know if it was multiple people or it was just one person. And this is actually a good story too, because like um, Evan was following me on Instagram under like the personal account, and like I was so like I didn't know that was the Bat Kings, and like I remember hearing this song by the Bat Kings, and most people on SoundCloud at the time I was just like not messing with. I was just like, okay, if someone's following me, yeah, it's just like some small artist. I don't really like it. I listened to the Bat Kings, and it was this like really trippy alien electronic music, and I'm like, okay, I like this. Like it reminds me of this band Tycho that I love, and like it was just amazing. And I was like, yo, I love this. And Evan was like, thank you, and like ended up getting into my music. And long story short, we had a like eventually I figured out this account on Instagram belonged to him, and I was like, okay, this is crazy. I didn't realize that you're the Bat Kings, and it was like we already had conversations on Instagram. So then uh, basically, I believe in 2019, we had a show, maybe 2019. We had a show in Worcester, where I'm from. Like, I was like, come up here, he brought his wife and a friend, and like, they were all into my music, and, we did a show together, and the live set, like, the way that's
Man, it's
mixed
cool.
together is insane. And like basically we've been in talks for a while about doing a show, because they're moving, and like they've got a huge yard, and like we're like, he's like, we could do a show there, and I'm like, and then life got in the way, and he wasn't feeling it, and I wasn't feeling it, but then I started to feel it again, and I was like, we started throwing ideas back and forth again, and the next thing you know, he's talking about building a stage, and like we're talking about having like a walkway with all this alien stuff and like this huge theme and stuff. It's gonna be
You see,
crazy.
it's always coming back at the feeling, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The
it's
whole
gonna
thing,
be
huh?
nuts. Like, and I got the PA system that's like locked in, and Chevy and I have been working on some little secret stuff for the live show to make sure that it comes out perfect. I'm crafting like my outfit already. Like, I'm taking everything seriously. So
Yeah,
Are
bro.
you gonna also have it during a live broadcasting? Or are you gonna just record?
yeah, I think that I'm most likely, just so like I don't have to be that guy and ask anyone to
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
record it. I think I'm just gonna get like a stand, like a tripod for something, and like just record the whole thing, and like have that, because I think that it's gonna be a visual and musical experience. There's gonna be visuals, so like
Damn.
I've never really had a show where the visuals were curated, and we're gonna do that. So I want it to be documented for sure. And I'm gonna play the whole album. I'm gonna play some new stuff. I'm gonna play some old stuff. So super excited. Yeah.
Wow, it's gonna be a movement. Are you excited? You nervous? How you feeling?
Definitely not nervous at all. Really, like I don't. I tend to not think about things until they get a little bit closer. I know it's less than 2 weeks away, but right
Yeah.
now I'm focused on working with Chevy, and he's been amazing to work with on just bringing everything together and working on getting the live mixes to where they need to be, and just creating a set list. And the cool thing
It's been
about
an
this,
honor, though, man.
yeah, but the thing about this show is that there's freedom because we're putting it on ourselves. So I was like, can I play like an hour long set? And the answer was yes. So I'm gonna play Fifth Dimension. I'm gonna play stuff off of the album Go that we have with Barf, and like I'm gonna play some of the songs that people have requested that people run up on Spotify, and then I'm gonna play some stuff that maybe people don't know about yet.
Woohoo! Damn, brother. Sounds like a fantastic time. And this is gonna be in New York, you said?
Yeah, it's in Long Island.
Long Island?
Yeah, Long Island, and yeah, it's open. It's just
Let go, man.
kind of like on the low, you know what I mean? But like it's open to it's kind of like a little bit VIP, but not really. It's just more like if you want to go and we trust you, and or someone
Mm,
vouches for you, or like you're chill, like it's
right.
cool. You can roll
Bro,
through.
I'm already blessed to be a part of it, man. Shit. You
I
know?
know, that's cool, dude. That's hella cool. You guys getting it all set up,
It's
track listing
Yeah.
and
yeah,
everything.
but it's been a little bit hectic. Like I feel bad for putting the pressure on like how much we have to do, but it's also
Bro,
like
it's all right, man.
it's a
Hey,
new
like
experience.
it's let me tell it like this, right? There was this moment in the Soul Souls Baker where like Sick Boy and Sage met up, and Sick Boy and Sage played like some songs from like the Soul Souls in the car with each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so badass.
Bro, that was already a fucking beautiful moment that they shared throughout the fucking group. But at the moment they played the songs that I mixed for Sage, I was like, damn, that means so much that Sick Boy is literally listening to that
Yeah.
with Sage on the track. People don't understand, but that to me is so fucking magical. I can remember still today that I was almost crying in tears of joy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it's you work on it and you think like, okay, I'm gonna help people out and they fuck with it, but it's so yeah, it's so small yet it's so fucking precious.
Yeah, because Sick Boy and Sage, they clicked up because of Soul Souls, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Stage, I believe, was, I don't want to be misquoted, but I believe he was added by Sturge or discovered by Sturge or someone in that chat. It might have been someone else, but they did. I don't know. I feel like they didn't know each other until Sage came into the chat and was just kind of talking to everybody. Like I remember when he
Yeah.
came in, he definitely wasn't shy. He was talking to everyone about his own music, his life, and like getting to know everyone. So and showing love right from the start. So we knew that
Yeah.
he was going to be someone who was going to be in there for the long haul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can exactly, you can feel the energy.
Okay, so Congruence is a Virgo. Chevy, what are you?
Oh shit, brother. I'm a it's a really fucked up word, but I'm a Cancer.
A Cancer.
Yup. I'm a they say in the Dutch they say kreeft. A
Kadave.
lot, yeah, yes, bro, yes. I don't know what it is, but it's a Cancer. They call it Cancer in the zodiac signs, but that's me. The
No, Chevy, do
July.
you go ahead?
No. I was saying, 2nd of July. Go ahead, bro. Say, ask.
I was gonna say, how well do you believe in it? Like, is it solid?
Heavily,
Is it?
heavily. I'm heavily influenced on that
Mm,
shit. The
mm,
thing is not only like astronomical, simple zodiac signs that you see in your daily magazine. You know what I mean? But I really go
mhm,
esoterically with that shit. I see the world in my view, and I keep it short, but the world in my view is just like a projection of what is within us,
mm,
and it is like a basis layer. It's like everything has like lines and everything, and we just paint it as we want it. So and I can project that feeling on everything. So also with music, like I get files from people to mix, for example, then Congruence, and I listen to the beat, and when I listen to the beat, I have this certain kind of vibrate. I feel okay. This is a happy song with like up boost like kind of lyric. You know what I mean? Or this as a song, for example, he knows the calm down where it's like a little bit sad but still groovy.
Oh yeah.
You tap into that. That's not something like the same. It's really esoteric. You know, it's the same thing with the fucking zodiac signs and with like spirituality in general. I think that's all connected, and I think it projects the best way in or inner experiences, like or inner development, and that projects itself already into music or whatever you're doing. If you were a journalist or a photographer or whatever, you know.
All sorts of art, like any expression, really.
Exactly.
Just come
And
up.
it's very important to understand it for lots of folks because I think a lot of folks are not lacking. That's not what I would say, but like they don't know yet. Well, I
Well,
think it's really important for them to know because it is honest. Because like if for me it helped. Like whenever I got to know a little bit about duality in life and what is the essence of life, maybe you never know, but like maybe what is the closest you start digging to it honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
can really set you free in multiple ways, both your private life, but other sides also your workflow. And if your workflow is music, then believe me, man, it can. Because I was insecure as fuck. I was like, bro, yeah, everything needs to be to the standard that I'm used to watching on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I wanted it at that. I had like this vision that I couldn't, and now I'm just at like, okay, I'm Steph, I'm young Chevy, and
Mm-hmm.
from that mode, getting within who am I? Like, what is my genre? Because I was making hip hop like drill type of shit back in the day, EDM type of shit. I was making all, and now I found my own flow, and now I fuck with it, and because of that, other people fuck with it because they see like, okay, this is a honest artist. This is not an artist that is wanna you
Super
know?
honest. Yeah, super honest. Congruence, do you agree or do you want to put an input on that?
for sure, I agree with just about all of that. Like I touched on it to open, I think, when he was joining about the spirituality. Yeah, I see everything as like nature. Like we all come from nature. Nature gives to us, and like a lot of people do overlook it and take it for granted. And I've done it at times, but like everything comes from nature, and it's like we were given so much blessings. And like, yeah, there is a horrible side to life, and I've seen so many of myself. I've seen so many of my friends like struggle. I've lost friends, like, but
Yeah.
within all that darkness, it provides contrast to see and truly appreciate the beauty of something like this album coming together, or like just the fact that music exists. Like you can't
Yeah.
really, if you're always having a great time, you can't really, you lose appreciation for it. Anything like that's why balance is important. That's why it comes back to my name, Congruence. Boom, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Because it's about the
Yeah.
balance. You got to have a little bit of the dark shit, and that to me it builds character. Like I'm most interested in people who've been through that kind of shit, like because
Mm.
it builds resilience and it shows you who you really are. Because everyone's going to deal with that shit at some point, but you know, sometimes when people haven't been through it and they've been handed everything their whole life,
Mm.
maybe they didn't choose that, but sometimes I can't really vibe with those people on that same level because I just don't. I don't. The character isn't there, and they don't interest me in the way that other people do. And I'm just. It sounds pretentious, maybe, but it's just my
It's
truth.
honest.
It's interesting because, out of all the people I know, I would say more than half of them, they don't believe in that energy. They don't believe in the stars.
I've seen that too, bro. Yeah, go on.
Like the mass, mostly they don't believe in it. But the ones that do, we can have similar and relatable conversations. Like with me, I don't
Yeah.
want to preach too much, but yeah, I'm tapped in with whatever energy this is and whatever you want to call it. And it does give me signs. It does give me answers. It's such an
Right?
interesting, yeah, it's such a trippy thing. And I believe that some people might be afraid of it, or maybe there's some blockage, or
Yeah.
I also believe there's NPCs in this world. You know what I mean?
I love this vibe you give in, like the energy, bro. It's true. Yeah. It's like the fact that, like, for example, like we are a part of each other, we live as an organ in this world, man.
Mm-hmm.
We like are like the fucking, we sprawl around like birds. We are a species, so if we don't function with each other, it can dysfunction, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same thing with music. If you have like people that you fuck with in music, you think like, okay, no, it's not only the track that is fire, but it's also they fucking resonate with for example, Johnny Coons, shout out to him, like the thing about the Eye of Horus, the
Hmm.
thing of Egypt. That's already a sign of thinking further than the masses do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think with some, I seen that, but that's my personal opinion, though. Don't take that for whatever. It's like there are people that have an underground scene where they think that everything is dark or everything is light. And it's
Hmm.
not that, bro. It's both ways. You have dark and light, but it's just balance them in a beautiful way that for you can benefit, and in
Damn.
all fronts, music, film, private life, your sexual life, bro. It doesn't matter, bro. If it's your, and never to say, it's honest. If
This
your
is
musical life is like
this is
balanced out in between, like for me in Congruence, and I'm still going through shit, I'm not gonna cap on that,
Yeah.
um, then I feel rejuvenated. I
Ooh.
feel young again, and I feel okay, vibrant. Like let's go. And then maybe the next morning I wake up and think like, okay, yeah, I'm back here, but I
Hmm.
still have that precious small memory that's buried in my mind. And people tend to forget that, bro. And that's
Wow.
what I learned with the Soul Souls, man. Like all of the motherfuckers are individual memories, but at
Uh,
one is also a collective. It's mind blowing.
that's
that's
a big family. What
yeah,
was that?
that's deep as shit, and I like it's. Some people might not even understand what the fuck he's talking about, but I know exactly what he's saying.
It's facts though, but yeah.
Bro, it's true, and like it's not it's not like it would be we would be missing the point if we were like, oh, just because we understand this stuff, like that makes us better than anyone. It's the whole
Hmm.
point is
No, 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 yeah.
the whole point is like it's just I like throwing it out there and talking to people. If people don't want to talk about it or they don't want to see it,
Hmm.
that that's I'm not gonna not be their friend.
No, yeah, it's not the
Right.
thing about like fucking with someone or fucking with someone. No, it's about like the point to where you have just like appreciation for the person. If the person is a fucked up, like we had people in the Soul Souls, you already know Khan, like
Hmm.
we dropped out of it, and we dropped some people out of it thanks to Sturge because they were like they did some things we were not, of course, but you gotta resonate. If the resonation is there and you feel like okay, that's something good, it's undescribable. It's a
It is.
feeling that.
It is undescribable. And sometimes I've had experiences where, and I would like to hear a story from each of you if you guys are down to talk about it, where
Mm,
I was with my cousin, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but
mm,
he felt the energy too. Whatever we were talking about, like the radio would play a sign, or it'll be a glitch on the phone.
amazing, right?
You know what I mean? And my cousin can't explain it, and he has nothing to do but accept what it is. But it freaks him out to the point where he doesn't want to talk about it no more. You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
god, yeah, yeah,
Oh
Have you
yeah.
guys have anything like similar to those kind of stories?
yeah, I got too many to tell, but all I'll say is like
Damn.
I've had definite like undeniable experiences to me that prove that there's some sort of higher force or higher energy out there. I don't believe in traditional religion, but I've had experiences that confirm that for me beyond belief. Now,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
the thing about it is that I was that person at one point too, where it's like sometimes it gets so intense that you kind of want to forget about it because it can become isolating
Hmm.
if you approach it with the wrong mindset. And I think, for example, like people like your cousin, I feel like it's not necessarily that it's all about the mindset. If you look at synchronicity, like the idea that like a coincidence happens for a reason, like it's like not a coincidence. If you
Hmm.
look at it and you think, "Ooh, this is cool," like, "Ooh, I like this," and you attract more experiences like that,
Yeah,
you're
because you
gonna,
tend to think
you're gonna
much more.
see,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna see it as like a cool thing, and then you can actually play with it a little bit and like kind of work with the universe to get like
Mm.
not get what you want, but at least like get in the direction that you want. But if you
Right.
see it as something to be afraid of,
Yeah.
then you might stray away from it. And sometimes fear can keep you in a place that's dangerous, or sometimes you're just not meant to think that deeply because it could make you go insane. And I've been that way.
Damn. What about you, Chevy?
Yeah, man, I figured the same. Like a lot of fucking. The thing is with especially coincidences, like
Hmm.
I figured like to be short in it because you can open up a whole book on like this subject. It's so fucking
Seriously.
bright. The thing is like in my opinion, everything is dual and everything has willpower. That's where everything comes from. Like, if you want to love someone, you want to love someone from out of willpower. And it's the same thing with music and everything that's surrounding that happen, you know. If
I
you
just
have, for example, this thing, it becomes from out of something, in my opinion, right? Like, not only from like something within, but just a knowing that it needs to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's if like I'm not familiar with the English grammar yet so far, but like it's esoteric, bro, and
Yeah.
it's yeah, I
Yeah.
live for that. That's the only thing I live for that shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah,
Like seriously, we could end up making a whole nother podcast just talking on this topic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we'll be here for hours talking about that. Let me go ahead and we have a few questions here from the Instagram.
really.
Yeah,
God damn.
the first one here is, I mean, it's kind of funny. Why is Bart Keller so sexy?
Oh!
Yeah, I wonder who asked
Let's
that.
go.
Yo,
Honestly, it may not have been him. It could have really like
Bro, but
he's
yeah, it may not. Barf Keller is, let me tell you that one real quick. Barf Keller is sexy because he fucking makes music on a fucking laptop without anything, bro. That's sexy to me,
damn.
bro. God
Bar-
damn.
Barf is sexy because he has been like like him and I'm not gonna go into detail, but him and I have conversations, and he doesn't have it easy and shit, and you don't see him out here complaining
Facts.
about it. He just grinds and he makes music and he puts his soul into the shit, and that's why you can tell that it's precious,
Put
and
that
that's
out
why
to him,
I
bro.
love
Put that out there.
that's why I loved working with a producer like that, because it changes the level of music by so much, and that's why I feel like that's part of what elevated my sound, is because you're working with someone and what emotions they're trying to convey through the beat, because you know the story behind it, as opposed to just getting a beat off of YouTube and it's a cool beat but you have no clue what the guy was
Exactly.
Mm, shout
so
out
yeah,
to Bar.
biggest shout out in the world. That's like
Biggest in the fucking earth, yeah.
for real.
Next question here is what is 44 Vibe?
Okay, cool. I wish we could know who asked these questions. I like these. 44 vibe. There's a little controversy actually around that. I love talking about controversy.
Oh shit.
In the beginning, I had a homie from Whole Foods where I worked, a grocery store. Like, if other people don't know, from other countries and shit, just like a health foods like type place. I had a homie who was like a wine sommelier, I believe is the word, and he had like a wine Instagram, and he was really good at it, and he taught me like the algorithm and Instagram, like what it used to be at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like he was like telling me about the hashtags, and he's like, make up one of your own hashtags, and branding is super important. He was right, and like I knew that from the start. And like 44 for me is a spiritual number, and like during specific times of my life I'll see it a lot. Like I'll see it on license plates, like it's in my phone number. Like I don't know, like it's just like it's my spirit number, and it, like, to me it's a good thing. Some people used to see it, like my homies, and they'd say it was like a sign of death or it's like a bad thing. I think it's a sign that like it's like, again, it's real deep spiritual shit, but like it's either a sign that like you're on the right path, or you're doing something, or there's like some sort of presence with you guiding you, you know what I mean? So 44 vibe is just the idea and the concept that like we're not necessarily alone, and that we're loved, and that there is good in this world. And I was just kind of catching that on as my branding early on. But what's funny is that I started to get these comments when I used that hashtag from an account that was called 44 Vibe, and I looked at
Oh
the
no
page.
way.
It was this dude, and he would post like these ridiculous, like, it wasn't even his own stuff. He would just do reposts of like D grade, like World Star videos, not even like World Star level, like low quality shit. And this dude's like,
Yeah.
he's like, nice work, but this isn't 44 vibe. And like, I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, I don't know what you want. And he's acting like he had the name first, and I looked at the hashtags, and I mean, I had it first. I'm not like the type to take ownership over shit, but he was the one who was trying to start a conflict. And eventually, like, I blocked him, and I looked, and like he was like, I got it trademarked, like it says it in his bio, like 44 Vibe TM, and I looked it up, and like it's not trademarked. I can trademark it if I wanted to. Like,
He's capping.
Yeah, you
yeah,
capping a lot.
he big cap, but like a lot of people cap a lot, and like, but the thing is, I don't care. I don't need it to trademark it. I can trademark it if I want, but I'm not gonna. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, it's just to me, like, it's just at this point, it's not as intense as it was. Like, I talk a little bit to this girl about it, and she talk about 33, I talk about 44 and shit, and like we joke about it, but like to me, it's not as big of a deal because I already know what path I'm going down. It's just like a nice little reaffirmation, if you will.
Mm. All right,
Yeah.
you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, look, y'all. July 2nd, never change.
You got
Congruence.
him dropping, man.
Chevy, Johnny, Barf Kelly,
Congruence
the
and
four giant,
Barf.
right?
All of them.
The four giants. That's July 2nd. July 3rd, Congruence with the Bat Kings for the release show, Long Island.
Exactly.
You guys, it was an honor
Wanna
having you here.
wanna have one quick shout out to the entire socials to make that clear, man. Listen, I wanna shout out fucking Kill V from India. He amazing fucking dark fucking screamer, bro. Makes
Mm.
some amazing tracks, send it over. He does amazing work. I wanna shout out fucking Young Good. Honestly, bro, this is no cap, right? Young Good doing progress, man. Like, look him up. You will see what he does. Like, it's always every Friday a new improvement. You know what I mean? Young
Mm.
Vampire, the same thing. Whenever Young Vampire drops his shit, shout out to him. It's always something new. CGH, she's a goated girl, man. Check her freestyles on the channel out. She is a really amazing girl, a human beings beyond it. I want to shout out the whole Ghost of Society from like Triple Scar, from like Amni, from like ID Wavy, Naomi, the girlfriend of Scar. I met them, they are such beautiful people. I want to, of course, shout out Sick Boy too. He is a fucking rock star, bro. And Seiji, of course, like Sage the Bishop, Foster, of course, a really good artist. He's not really active, but whenever he spits something, and my little brother A6, from the mastering, from Brothers in the Mix. That's all I want to say, man. And Baker, of course, for this podcast, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it, Chevy. Congruence, want to do any shout outs?
Yeah, I echo all of that. I also just want to shout out Wonderland and Barf Keller.
I'm sorry, yeah, Wonderland,
No,
yeah.
no. You got most of them.
Trouble,
shout out.
Trouble
Like,
99 gets that shit.
I just want to shout out personally Wonderland, like just for all that she's done for me, and Sick Boy and Sturge, and just everyone. Everyone that Chevy listed as well. But and Barf, really, like, to be honest, that's like I said, my little brother, and he's given me a ton of advice. He's wise beyond his years, so definitely, like, that's what I would say. That's what I would say right now, and I would shout out just like my creative team that I kind of have been
Of
working
course,
with.
brother.
Meaningless Media and Jack, who's been doing my photos and who did my promo clip as well.
Oh, and then shout out to Eric in the comments, watching and listening to the show.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I saw the comments too. It's amazing, bro. Shout out to him. Yeah, goat.
I missed it. Hell yeah.
Amazing.
You guys go ahead. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I want to say one thing, Baker, man. Thanks for inviting us, Brian. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, the technical difficulties with the live stream, but it was a blast. I had a really fun time with y'all.
Oh,
Love you both.
It was a great time having you guys both on there. Even with all the technical difficulty, man, it's all right. It was meant to happen in the way it did. It's strange.
Exactly.
It's strange, but
willpower, bro.
Say what?
Yeah,
we got the willpower.
You're trying to sleep, bro. You're trying to sleep.
Shit, dude. You guys go ahead and tell the listeners where they can find all your art.
Yeah, I'm linking my Instagram up in here.
Of course, man. Of course, it was a real blast, man. And I cannot stop saying it, but like, shout out to the Soul Souls, bro. We part of it, and it's the only thing in my opinion, I live for. Shit. Let's go.
Congruence, Young Chevy. We gotta do it again. Thanks for being on Uphill Radio.
Thank you.
All right, let's go, bro.
Sorry, yeah. Make sure you save that. I don't know how though.
Okay, I've been screen recording it.
Okay, man.
Let's go, man.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Let's go.
Much love.